Good morning, my dear friends. I am Rehan Mukherjee. I am going to eating my breakfast cornflakes. I am going to doing some studies, some reading. Okay, friends. I will show you nature and my breakfast. Okay. Look, my dear friends. This is my breakfast cornflakes, and I am showing some nature. Look, this is my nature. This is my nature. Look, this is my nature. Look, look, this is my nature. Look, this is my god room, and so many gods in there. And look, this is my breakfast cornflakes. I am eating cornflakes daily. I will wait after eating. I will show you this is empty. Okay. Look, my dear friends, this is empty, and I am going to doing my another work. I will show you. Okay. Look, my dear friends, I am complete my study. Look. Look, this is my writing. This is my writing, and I am. Look, I am done. Okay, friends, I will meet in my lunch. Okay, I will show you my lunch. Good afternoon, my dear friends. This is my lunch. I am eating paneer and luchi, and I am going to taking some nature. Look, this is my nature. I'm done. I'm going to take my lunch. Look, this is today was not making rice. Today is luchi and paneer. I will make after eating. I will show you this is empty. Look, my dear friends, I'm done my lunch. Look, this is empty, and I am going to taking some rest. I will make after doing my study. Okay, I will show you. Look, my dear friends, I am Rehan Mukherjee. I am going to do my study with my teacher. I will show you some nature. Look, this is my evening nature. Look, this is my nature. Okay. And I am going to do this and I am going to doing my study with my teacher. My teacher is come in my house, and I am going to do my study with my teacher. I'm going to make this is my teacher, and I'm going to doing my study with my teacher. Look, this is my teacher, and I'm going to doing study, and I will meet after doing my study. Look, this is my nature. Look, this is my nature, and I'm going to doing my study with my teacher. and I will meet after doing my study. I will show you my reading chapters and writing handwriting after doing. Okay friends, I will meet after doing study. I will show you my writing and reading. Okay. Okay. Look my dear friends, this is my reading chapters. I am done my study. Look, this is my study. Look, this is my writing. My writing. My writing. Look, this is my writing. Okay. Look my dear friends, my teacher is going his house and I am waiting for my mother. I am going to doing my live class and Bengali class with my mother. Okay. Good evening my dear friends. I am Rehan Mukherjee. I am going to doing my study. Look, this is my evening nature. Look, this is my evening nature. Okay. And look, this is my god room. And I am going to doing my study with my mother. I am going to doing my live class. Look, this is my yoga mat. Look, this is my mother, and I am going to doing my live class. Okay, I will meet after doing live class. Look, my dear friends, I am Rehan Mukherjee. I am complete my class, and I am going to eating my dinner. I will show you. I'm showing. Look, I'm going to eating my dinner. I will show you my dinner. Okay. Look, my dear friends, this is my dinner, and I'm seeing some nature. Look, this is my god. Look, this is my dinner. I'm going to eat my dinner. I will meet tomorrow. Okay, good night, tata, bye bye.